Hello everyone, how we doing? How's everyone's Sunday going? Hopefully everyone's having a lovely Sunday fun day. We're gonna have some fun tonight with trying weird and interesting ways to deal with crepes. Because I haven't made crepes at home and I had the one day brilliance to let's make some Crepe-chungas. Try frying crepes. I don't know why I came up with this idea or why I'm oddly intrigued by it, but that's the plan for tonight. So I figure I'm going to make a welcome in Stream Raiders players. We got a couple of them in here. Welcome in. Going to be doing a sort of basic chicken stew, and that'll be great for either tonight with the crepes, or I figure maybe I can throw some rice together for tomorrow for night off. Well, actually, we got Sunday, so it's Monday and Tuesday that I'm doing with this. But I might make myself some lazy pasta or something. I still have tons of tomato sauce when I made that last batch of pizza. I've still got, I mean, that's at least 24 ounces, if not more, of tomato sauce. So I'm thinking I'm going to defrost this, make some simple just tomato sauce and pasta, maybe on Tuesday night. Maybe we'll make some pizzas. Maybe we'll make some more dough for that, but I don't know. We got people that said the other night they want me to do more pizzas, and I was sort of like, I was trying to say that we're going to have a ton of streamers doing pizzas here in the next couple of months, so don't want to do what everyone else is doing, especially when half of them have outdoor ovens now. They're going to give them a prettier product. So how is everyone? We're going to start with cutting up a chicken, since we need chicken for our chicken stew. This will give me a good use to use up all those pea sprouts that I've got too. I haven't used those up yet. Hi there, chicken. How are you today, chicken? Everyone say hi to the chicken. By that, I of course mean that chicken. Get rid of this trash. I'll be right back. That knife needs to be steeled. So we'll steel that knife up a little bit, see if we can't get a little bit better of a tip on that, a little bit more of an edge. This is not sharpening a knife. This is honing a knife. Let's see if we can get it to work. Yeah, it's just not working. So we're just going to turn that timer off. Hey, Bun Buns. How are you this fine Sunday? Sunday. First Formula One Grand Prix weekend of 2021. Had a nice race to watch this morning when I woke up. Good race, too. Come on. It's supposed to just tear off. Like that. Okay. Sounds like a good time. Relaxation time. Done with the major worries of the day. And go home and deal with the dirty house in your leisure. Or not care at all and just watch me cook all evening. I like that idea. Nice. So many people are working from home today, too. It's gonna change the world, this pandemic. Better or worse. Not gonna be nearly as many nice fine dining restaurants for everyone to go to. Chunga? Well, I'm saying chunga like a chimichanga, which is essentially a fried burrito, if anyone's unfamiliar with that. It's sort of an American... It's Mexican. It's considered Mexican food, but it's most certainly an American creation of Mexican food. And so, I'm going to take crepes. We're going to cook the crepes up. Going to stuff them. Going to try both doing a chicken and leek stew with yogurt is one of them. And the other one I'm going to fill with the can of dulce de leche that I made up. Some semi-sweet chocolate. And I might drizzle some sweet yogurt over the top of that. But those I'm going to roll them up, and then I'm going to fry them as rolled crepes. Well, we'll see how it turns out here. I mean, crepes are a very thin pancake, and so I can see them getting too thin for what we want to do, or too overcooked. This is not something I've tried or tested before. This could be a complete failure tonight. It's just an idea I had. What type of oil? I still got the same oil on the board here on the stove here on fish night. So we're going to use that same fishy oil. I'm not that afraid of that, though, because we only used it that once for that. I've strained it. Looks a lot dirtier in that picture than it does in real life. But just cheap soybean frying oil. As far as the actual frying, we're of course going to be making the crepes with butter and good stuff like that. Not sure what I want to do here with all this. What do I want to save out of this? We're going to ditch the wings on these. Just save those for stock. Ditch the skin on the thighs and legs, but let's bone those out first. These we're going to put in a bag and save those for later. Maybe use those on Monday or Tuesday. This chicken's been around a minute, so it needs to get used. I've never made a crepe at home before either, Bun, so we're going to be learning together here tonight. So, I've never even made crepes before, and I'm going to fry them tonight. You always have a hard time with leeks? Yeah, they're sort of a pain to clean, but I actually stole a technique from one of my old employees when it comes to cleaning leeks. I used to do it a little bit differently. So now we'll rip the skin off of this, since we don't need that for our stew. That I will throw in the compost. Not on the handle of the compost, on the compost. I use my leftover paper shopping bags, which thankfully I've got tons of now. Because online shopping, they haven't been charging me for bags. Yay! Battle already! How do you make a cooking recommendation? As far as for me, for upcoming things, you can go ahead and throw that in the recipes channel of the Discord. Otherwise, I haven't really decided. I do sort of want to make that as a redeemable thing for people, because I'd love to be able to try things that other people want me to try. At the same time, throwing a ton of money into it without is another thing, too. What do we got going on here? Okay, that's old. We can get rid of that. But if you want to check out the Discord, yeah, you can feel free to throw anything in the... Oops. Wrong section here. You want to throw that down here in the recipes area. I've been throwing recipes that I've tried and thought were decent down here, or at least trying to. I haven't been very successful at that so far, but these are all recipes that I've tried on stream and thought worked out pretty well. But you can feel free to add your own in there and hopefully work them into future days. And since we're here, we can also do a reminder if we got Vegemite versus kosher pickles in the weekly vote for this week. That's running now until Friday. Or until Monday. Tomorrow. Last day for this, basically. So, yum yum. So that's going to be Wednesday. Yep, I know you had an ad. Let's do our battle. But I was saying, the recipes channel is pretty much entirely past recipes that I've tried and tested and thought were decent recipes. But I originally started it as a suggestions. Victory. Got Quiet Jay getting all the kills, and Talking Jay getting the assists. Entropy and Head Mama Bear getting those scroll rewards. Congrats. Oh, let's see. Top or bottom here? I think we'll go for the silver chest over the bronze. We'll see how this works out in 30 minutes. Back to chicken. Back to chicken. So we got our chicken parts that we're not going to use tonight. Save these for stock in the future. Hey, Create Mode! How you been? Just okay. I'm glad you're doing okay. And do I want to chop this up even finer? Yeah, let's do small pieces to begin with. It's all connective. I'm having some fun tonight trying both crepes, which I've never done before, and then trying to turn those crepes into chimichanga crepes by frying them with the filling. Should be interesting. Hopefully it's not a complete disaster. It could be, though. I have a couple of leaks, actually. That's all the connective tissue stuff. All those tendons holding the leg in place so it can stand up. Okay, so we got our chicken for our stew tonight. Long day. No one likes long days. That's why I always like busy days in restaurants is, I mean, not only is the restaurant making money, which means you've got a future job, but, I mean, you keep busy, you don't pay attention to the time doesn't drag. Ooh. which ones do we want to use for what tonight? I think we're going to use this for crepes. We're going to use this for our stew, our chicken stew. So we need onion. We need clean knife once again. You know, create mode, the next time you go ahead and butcher a chicken, I think that you don't even really need to bother with a knife. It's probably a lot safer if you just want to pull it apart using a spoon. Quicker and easier method. Safer too, because you don't get that blade all over the place. Your teeth? That's a good one too. I'm trying to remember where I saw that bit. Was it Saturday Night Live or one of the gazillion other Saturday Night Live ones where, or maybe it was Robot Chicken, something like that. There was somewhere I was watching one where they were trying to sell pre-chewed food and have the person come in and chew your food for you. Could have been an internet meme for all I know. For all my memory. It's getting to my eyes a little bit. By the hour or by the chew? I don't know. That's a wonderful question. And with today's economy, are they contract workers? Do you have to tip them? There you go, Chuber. None of the other ones work nearly as good. Like, I was sitting here, like, trying to figure out ones that you do with Lyft or something like that. I can't even remember most of the delivery services. I don't use any of them. There's plenty of meal prep companies out there. What it usually breaks down to is the logistics of doing it. Because the cost of operating a properly legal kitchen just makes it practical for doing, 20 dinners or something like that. It's a business that mostly lives on illegally in private homes, like a wink wink nudge nudge. I can get that to you. Saw all sorts of those pop up here in the last year. Well, that's basically all you're paying for when you go to the supermarket and buy that pre-made mirepoix. Leeks. Carrots, leeks. Others, stuffs. See, I got a big leek too. Those are some fat leeks. Well, it's always been sort of the game with meal prep is how much actual prep do you do? Like, if you look back when they first started selling cake mixes, they sold, you didn't need anything. It was just cake mix. You just put it in a pan, throw it in the oven, and it's ready to go. Or maybe add some water or something like that. But then they had to add back, they had to give you the egg to crack and put in there, and the oil. And it was this sort of, they had to play with this fine line of how much is it produced. pre-made for the customer. And I'm sure that's still very much a thing. Yeah, I not only got leaks, I've got dirty leaks. They need cleaning. I keep spilling this all over the place and having to shovel more in there. Okay, how they grow leaks. Leeks are typically grown in very loose, sandy soil, and so it's easy to get caught in between the individual layers of the leek. And not only that, where you see white, there was no sunlight hitting it, which means they have, in many cases with leeks, they pile up the soil as the leeks grow so that you get this nice white part to the leek. And the greens, Americans generally throw the greens away. We don't like those bitter, dark greens. But that's certainly used in Asian cuisine. And so, to clean these, we really only want to expect dirt from about here to maybe about here on this. And so I could just be lazy and chop it right there, use that, not worry about the rest of it being dirty. What I'm going to do is not quite through. I didn't go through the heel there. I started to try to, but I'm going to quarter this, leaving the stem still intact. And that's going to allow me to go in there with the water and get in between individual layers and get all that small little specks of dirt in there. Let's do that with the sink over here. Just go through and make sure the water runs in between each of the layers there. Gets all that little junkiness out. Again, like I said, it was typically it's grown in loose, sandy soil, so it's not going to take a ton of effort. You don't need to. It's not like it's heavy mud in most cases that you have to heavy scrub out. But yeah, and so especially with this being a stew that we're going to be cooking a while, I'm going to skip some of the darks on here because that's going to be a little bit more bitter. And then we can cut that other end off. This is great for stock. So if you're doing stock anytime soon, want to save these for that. Welcome in, Red Nut. So now we got two flat halves that I can chop. Hey, Lexi. Yeah, a couple people just joining us. For those just joining in, we're working on making crepes tonight. And then I'm going to turn those crepes, or the hope is to turn those crepes then into like chimichangas. I'm going to fry them after I cook them. We're going to cook the potato. Gonna cook the crepes and then allow them to cool. We'll stuff them. We'll roll them with, I'm gonna make a chicken stew, which is what I'm currently working on, with leeks and yogurt and all that good stuff. And then I'm gonna do one with some, I've got the dulce de leche left over that I didn't use for the turtles. And we got some semi-sweet chocolate. We'll wrap those in that and we'll try frying both of those. Hopefully they turn out alright. But I've never made crepes before. I've certainly not made crepe-chungas before. So, who knows how it turns out. It's an adventure. I didn't really want that anyways. I think I'm just going to use the one leek. We'll save the other one for some other project in the future. This is quite a bit of veg. Even though, like I said, I'm sort of making the stew for multiple nights here. Can use it with rice or whatever here, since I'm not back normally with streaming here until Wednesday, when we got our Discord vote going between Vegemite and dill pickles, or kosher pickles. Kosher pickles got a 1 vote lead so far. Create mode might be interested in me doing kosher pickles for a ingredient challenge. Then again, she may not want to see pickles be used for food. So how you doing tonight, Lexi? Having anything interesting for dinner? So we'll save both of these. Maybe for stock. Getting to the point here when I'm going to have to make more chicken stock again. I've already got 3 or 4 carcasses in the freezer again. I just made chicken stock end of last month. Good sandwich. Good sandwich is a good... I mean, I crave a good sandwich every now and then. It's usually a lunch thing, but... yeah. I like me a good muffaletta, too. I need to make one of those on stream one night, because it's... If you're not familiar with muffalettas, they're actually their own bread type. It's a New Orleans sandwich, and it's sort of an odd mix of things for being New Orleans. I think of New Orleans, I typically think French Creole cuisine, and muffaletta is more like it's Italian meats with olive relish, and it's on its own sort of like almost like focaccia-like bread. It's not as airy as focaccia, but it's in that same ballpark. And then it's pressed. And then you press it and you let it sit pressed for a couple of days. And so it soaks in all those juices from the olive relish and the Italian meats and the oils and all that all get soaked into the bread. The problem with that recipe and a number of recipes when it comes to streaming is It's a pressed sandwich. It's not going to be ready when I make it. It's going to have to sit around for a minute. But I love me a good open sandwich too. Good hot turkey or hot beef. That's something I should make sometime soon here too. Hot beef or hot chicken or hot turkey or something straight from, do the bread that day and everything. That sounds like a winner of a stream to do some night, if I remember to do it. I do have to work on my plans here for May. It's getting to that time here when I gotta start doing all my May food plans. I also gotta update the Patreon with all my archive streams. Falling behind on some of that stuff. I'm still feeling like I have like no energy after getting that vaccine. I'm still sleeping all the time. Just low energy. What kind of hot sandwich did you have? I have done a meatball sandwich on meatball sub on stream. That was a fun night. Made the meatballs and the bread both from scratch. The sub buns weren't. I tried taking no-knead bread and turning it into sub buns, which mildly successful, mildly not. Hey, Peanut, welcome in. How's the Hawaiian part of the U.S. treating you? Okay, we got all the veggies that we're using for our stew tonight. Anything else that I want to throw in there? I think I got some celery in here somewhere. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate that. But much just like the leeks, I'm gonna give those a rinse off too, because just like the leeks, you get dirt on the inside of these. Appreciate the bits. Battle. Which means pre-roll ad while I cut the rest of this celery. This celery just looks like supermarket celery, and I complain about supermarket celery, but look at this. There's so much water pumped into this vegetable that, I mean, it's going to taste like nothing but water. There's no green here. It's like manufactured to taste like nothing and crunch, which is probably what they probably grow it for these days. Sorry, Lexi, Scramble is not functioning currently. I'm still trying to poke away at that, but I haven't figured out why it isn't running. I sort of half think that they updated my bot and made it not work. At this point, I've completely deleted the entire game from the bot and rebuilt it, and it's still not working. So it's got me feeling that it's probably the bot. And I don't recall changing anything that would have, like, broken it at the same time. Yeah, I spent a lot of time making that dictionary for it, so I will probably find another means if that bot will not handle it anymore. There's plenty of Scramble bots out there that I could maybe add my own dictionary to. Let's put our fry oil over on this side. And our saute pan over here. Get a little heat going there. Use up some of the last of our sunflower oil. Let's do our battle. Bottle. To bottle. Bottle. Rogues made some nice inroads there, but they wiped out quick. Let's hope we don't get too flanked here. Maybe our barbarian down here will be able to hold down the fort. Or the orc slayer down here. Maybe? Maybe? Victory. Fang Mermaid with those kills and assists. Thank you, thank you. Red Nut and Entropy getting those scroll rewards. Ooh. Maybe we'll do this action here. We'll try and go that way with everything. And while we're there, we're here. Let's see what we got for things that I can waste gold on. Healer scrolls. Nice. Okay, back to that. 30 minutes. We got our pan starting to smoke back here. We'll start with our chicken. We'll give that a nice syrup and some light color. Use about half of this at once. I had my tongs out already. Alright, there they are. Fan's on low. Make sure to close the bedroom door. Don't need smoke alarms going off. Don't need some things falling off my bedroom door either, but that's a different matter. My bedroom door sort of comes like the midway point between my dryer and my closet. And so things like my shirts that I wear on stream and stuff like that seem to sort of stop at the bedroom door. We're just going for some color here. We'll have plenty of time to stew all this once we get the veggies steamed up or with some color on them. Put this in something or on something while we're waiting. I'm going to move that over to a plate once it's done. We're pretty much there already. Give the pan a moment to heat back up. So, chat, are we boozy tonight? We feeling boozy tonight? Should I crack open a wine? I'm sort of feeling a little boozy. I've got a bottle of cardboard wine I'm sort of tempted to open up tonight. Thank you for that gift sub, Lexi. thank you for gifting that sub to Red Nut. Pan didn't get hot enough, I don't think. That's a little bit either too much meat for that pan or not quite getting the color that I love out of my chicken. Got a little nice color there and there, but it's losing too much moisture. Which is also a problem depending on which chicken you buy here in the United States. If you guys haven't noticed, if you go and buy like even a lot of the cut chicken these days, if you're buying, thighs or breasts by themselves, you're not breaking down a whole chicken like I am. If you're buying it from like Tyson or Foster or any of the big producers, you'll notice a lot of them are pumped with well, they'll call it flavoring or they'll call it stock, but it's essentially just water. So that they get you to pay for 10, 13, 15% of your chicken as water. But you then just sit here and cook right off in the pan. We'll let that pan get a bit warmer here. Let's see if we got any sunflower oil left. Not really. I'm going to turn that down a little bit, and I am going to open that bottle of cardboard wine. Where is this out of? California. We've got cardboard wine. It's literally like, a milk cardboard box. Cab Sav. Go Explore, made in the USA. That's interesting. Where the heck is these grapes coming from? Because the company's out of California, but it's saying made in the USA, so they're not claiming it's a Californian wine. And they're saying Pacific Crest Trail, and you got things leading to Washington here. You got Olympic National Park, which is a little further north, so these grapes could be from just about anywhere. Only the finest wines come in cardboard, yes, absolutely. With a twist-off plastic cap. Oops. But some of the best wines for cooking do come in cardboard. Let's get the polishing cloth out. That thing looks a little hazy. Hey, Rad, thank you for that follow. How are you doing tonight? What's new in your world? What are you having for dinner tonight? Decent color on it. It's got a little, looks like it's seen a little wood too, because it's got some little color, little brownish color to that. It could be the grapes too. It could be older grapes, but nice dark wine. Maybe even on the edge of not being drinkable color-wise. I think that's probably a cardboard wine. It's smooth, it's unobtrusive, it's not offensive in any sense, it doesn't have any real off flavors to it. At the same time, it's not impressive in any form. There's a little bit of wood there. It's definitely not stainless. But at the same time, it's probably a good cooking wine. Which is what I was also planning on using it for here. After we get some more of these veggies cooking. We still got a flame going here? Oh, we lost our flame. So we'll let that pan warm up again. Filet mignon with ghetto fake black bean dirty chutney. I don't think of beans and chutney. Jameson and rice. Alright. A little rice action. I was thinking I was going to be using rice probably with this on Monday and Tuesday as far as dinner. Tonight I'm going to try and wrap it in a crepe and fry it like it's a chimichanga. Welcome back, Blue Moon. How are you this evening? I think of a chutney and I start thinking of some sort of a combination of nut and fruit going on. Yeah, I've got it set so that I'm welcome back anyone with, I think it's over 200 minutes watched. Try and give shout outs to anyone that's a regular viewer and also a streamer. Still not warm enough over there. So this will be decent for deglazing our pan. Doesn't have a whole lot of depth to it though. It's just sort of like it's not very sweet. It's not very, it's drinkable, but not a ton of berry to it. I mean, there's fruit there, but it's not like it's a jammy, fruity It's alcoholic. There we go. Now we got a little heat going. Thanks for stopping by, Irad. Glad to have you. Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday. I hold a weekly ingredient challenge. So Wednesday I'll either be doing dinner with Vegemite, dinner and dessert. So both sweet and savory with Vegemite or with kosher pickles. Both of those will be interesting ones to figure out desserts for. But that's what's on store for Wednesday. Got our garlic burning in here, so let's get some onion in there quick. Not quite burning, but certainly toasty. A bit more toasty than I want it to. Hit that with some salt. No, what I've done in past days when we've had a tie is I've actually found another streamer that I've known and put him on the spot. Without any context, just ask them what their preference is. And if you look up, there was a couple of those. I haven't had any ties in a long time. When I first started it, there were a couple I had. So those are actually in the notes if you look back in the history of the past votes. Bun Buns, I suggest the next time you make a chicken stew, or a chicken whatever you have you skip this step that I'm doing right now. This is just going to waste your time. You don't want to get a nice sear on anything. You can just throw it all in a pot and let it cook. And it's going to be the same thing. And right along with that, Blue Moon, I don't think you need to deglaze the pan with any alcohol or anything like that. That flavor isn't going to benefit your stew at all. You should just leave. I mean, just wash it out when you clean your pan. It's not going to help. Pull these off with the chicken. Cheers, Blue Moon. And if you're still drinking the Jameson, cheers for that too. Need more sunflower oil. Let's throw a little olive oil in there for right now. Since I'm out of my normal saute oil. Olive oil runs a little chilly compared to what smokes too easily. Of course, I've also read articles now paid for by the olive oil industry that say that smoke point is not necessarily indicative of the actual problems in your wine or oil. These last three were almost... I want to get a little color going with the carrots, especially since they're got all that sugar in them. But these last two, we're really just sweating these. As I was saying before, the supermarket celery is... I mean, it's so pale. It's got no color to it at all. It's probably like 99% water. Hit those both with a bit more salt. And our leeks. Along that line, Red Nut, I mean, they're paying to try and get the maximum sales out of their product. Of course, nowadays I sort of think of cigarette companies using that to their marketing advantage. If you look at, I'm sitting here thinking of Formula One, as I regularly do. And you look at the Ferrari with that Mission Winnow, or Winnow. Ugly this. They put this giant, like, lime green Marlboro logo on the beautiful red Ferraris. But even the controversy they have over this Mission Winnow, which is not technically Marlboro, still advertising on the cars, and the controversy of can they show it or can't they show it. I think they use it like as their own marketing these days. They of course want to heavily market in the Middle Eastern territories where they make all their money. I'm just making a mess on my stovetop tonight. Dropping all sorts of things out of the pan. And that's where it gets sort of funky. I've talked with a couple of streamers in the past about, you know, working with things and the advertising and stuff like that, and I have so many people come in here from so many different places. I mean, I have a ton of people coming in here from the UK when it's like times they should be asleep. and the laws on advertising between here and there, or what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. I mean, I'm mostly a mature stream because I have alcohol on stream, and I don't think that I should be actively talking about alcohol and wine like that with a bunch of kiddies in the stream. But to each their own. I'm sort of thinking I might want to switch over to... Yeah, I think I'm going to switch over to a little bit more of a stew pot now. We'll deglaze that one with our wine, and then move it over to the other pan with the chicken and the onion and the garlic in there. Yeah, well, I think the UK and Europe as a whole have done a lot better at trying to rein in internet companies. I think the US has essentially failed at actually using the FTC and keeping companies from being ridiculously huge, from being, there's one Twitch, there's one YouTube, and there's, Actually, I think we got enough moisture off these veggies, we don't even need to deglaze this pan. So I might actually just skip that entirely. Yeah, I think we're pretty much good there with just the moisture out of these leeks and celery. But we're definitely filling this pan up if we try and put this all back in together, so we'll move over to the other one. Put that in the back burner for a moment here. Add this one back. Throw this all in there. Stream Raiders ready, so let's do our pre-roll ad. We get going on building our sauce with this after we do our battle. Oops. Throwing all sorts of stuff away here. Thankfully I have these lovely Teflon sheets underneath here that make cleaning up the stove so easy and lazy. probably one of the best products I've bought in years as far as keeping life easy. Spray out this other cast iron. Well, that's entirely the whole Australian paying for news articles is another animal entirely. Fighting with Google is interesting about that. It's mostly you hear Facebook about that. The idea is that Twitter and Facebook now, when the news articles get written and people just read the titles on Twitter and Facebook, and the news companies don't get any money for making the news in the first place. And so I sort of see the problem there. It's why we have so many news companies going behind paywalls, which I immediately just ignore them for. But we need to find some sort of balance there where news companies are actually getting paid to make news instead of, them living off of hype. Stream Raiders battle. I am going through this wine, though. Victory. Victory. Entropy getting those kills. The Grey Paw is helping out with the assist. Entropy and Red Nut getting the rewards. Congrats. On to the next. Oh, this song reminds me of a Color of Money song. I'm trying to remember. I actually know who did that one too. It's actually, they just released the info on that in the last couple of years. There's a news article about. There was also was that a different one too? I'm getting things confused in my head. But there's a couple of songs in The Color of Money that aren't on the soundtrack that sort of good songs. I said we are going to work on building our sauce here after our Stream Raiders battle, so we'll get that started here now too. We'll add a little bit of our vino, if only because I said we were going to. Didn't really need it to deglaze. Yep, Red Nut, that's the issue. I mean, meanwhile, Gannett buys up all the other ones. Do a little flour and roux action here. Add a bit of flour to our stew. And agua. Actually, let's use chicken stock. I've got all that chicken stock from making chicken stock. Let's use chicken stock. Made chicken stock here on the 28th on stream. We'll let that steam into the rest of it and create our sauce. Let's start all the way in the back. We're just going to let that go. And on secondary burner. So we got our chicken leek and yogurt stew going. Now we need to get going with our crepes. Did I transfer that recipe over? I did not. It's probably faster to just search for it. Eggs, milk, flour, whisk, little whiskey business. Two large eggs starting off with here. I'm starting with the eggs so that I can give them a good whisk. This recipe has it just thrown all in a blender, but then I have to clean the blender. That's no fun. Ooh. That's a shame. I thought I had more than that. This is the, I thought I had more butter in the house than I do. If you guys aren't familiar with what the act I'm doing right now is. Just where the hell did all my butter go? Oopsies. Didn't plan for that. I think we got just enough for our crepes, but don't have more for anything else tonight. Reuse this just to melt some butter. Throw that in the microwave. 1.5 cups of milk. So 3 of these. Since that's a 1/2 cup measure. I'm still trying to move away from using cup measure recipes, but my favorite sites all continue to be ones that use cup measure. Now they have sugar and vanilla in here, optional. We're not doing breakfast ones, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip that for these. Vanilla will be perfectly awesome with the dulce de leche and chocolate, but don't think that's gonna go so well with the chicken stew. That didn't melt enough. That needs another 20 seconds. That's basically it. We gotta sift in a cup of flour. Our butter. Get all that buttery goodness in there. I'm still trying to get that scramble to work again, Blue Moon. Sorry. The bot as I was saying earlier, I think the bot that I was using to make it might have screwed it up. I've completely deleted the game out and re-entered it in. It just doesn't seem to be working for me. I don't know what happened to break it, other than maybe it was the bot itself and they just don't realize it. I scanned quickly the Discord and there wasn't any mention of it, but who knows how many people are actually using their word scramble. So we'll sift our flour in there with our handleless sieve. It's going to take things longer to cook, but otherwise not really. I do have to worry a little bit about things burning because we don't have enough liquid in the pan, but I've taken a couple looks over there and it's not been sticking at all. And we're now to the point where it's basically half melted in there. I don't know. Yeah, you can sort of see it still. So, I'm not really worried about that too much. It'll disappear here soon. It is not the ideal situation. What I used to use all the time, and probably would have been a lot better, Red Nut, is I need to get myself a new set of ice cube trays. I used to have a set of cheap ice cube trays. I actually still have them. I haven't thrown them out. I don't know why I haven't thrown them out. They're junk. But I can't really use them for food anymore because they've cracked. And I'm worried about literally getting plastic in them. But I used to freeze a bunch of stock into ice cube trays. So you could pull out a couple of ice cubes and make a quick pan sauce. Or in this case, you just throw a couple of them in there and toss them around. And the ice cubes being much smaller, they melt much quicker than that hunk of ice in there now. But in either case, it's going to drastically increase the amount of time that you have to cook the overall dish because it's got to melt, come up to temp, and then everything can cook and be friendly. And so since this is there's not a ton of whisking we want to do here. We don't want to develop gluten here. We just want this combined. So there's enough liquid in here that I would almost say it's pretty hard to get it too well developed. I mean, this is a pretty loose pancake batter. A lot of moisture here. A lot of fat and stuff too, but a lot of moisture. And that's why they're using a blender for this recipe, is the blades are gonna do a better job cutting rather than mixing. This is also another recipe where I sort of wish I had some spray oil or something. I haven't kept that around the house for a while now. And it's good to have a nice spray oil for pancakes and things where, like I was complaining about the other night when I was doing the flatbreads, where you just want a nice thin layer of oil. Let's see, what do they say for a individual crepe? How much to suggest to add? I'm gonna guess that my baby ladle is gonna be perfect. My little 1 ounce ladle. Okay, we got that going. I sort of want to move these out of the party and get the oil a little bit away from where I'm doing my crepes. So we'll use olive oil since that's what I have around the house tonight, unfortunately. Nice, Lexi. Let's see how we do here. This pan's already pretty warm. First time trying to make a crepe at home. And I've already messed this one up, I think. Need to turn that a little bit quicker, and we need a bit more to make a larger crepe. Okay, so we're learning. That's already overcooked. I'm over here toying with cameras. Yep. Okay, I think we're going a little warm on our temp. Not horrible, not great. I'm purposely trying to keep these even lighter than typical crepes. Typical crepes, you want a little bit more color to them, but I'm hoping to make them really nice and light because I'm worried about them going into the fry afterward. Well, I don't typically keep it around. I do occasionally buy spray oils. I don't have a huge problem with Pam. Usually I tend to favor organic products, especially on really cheaply produced products like Pam. And turn the stew down a little bit. You may not be able to see that, but you can probably hear that bubbling away. That ice has disappeared now. Not completely disappeared, but mostly disappeared. Getting better here. Better with practice. Better with practice. First one never comes out nice anyways. Still going a little warm, I think. I'm also having issues with my butter solidifying in my batter. If you notice, the butter sort of melting secondarily, and what's that, the Whiskey Man? Welcome in. How are you this evening? Oops. We were drinking some cheap cab sabs tonight. And we're making crepes, or at least trying to. First attempts here. That one's a little bit long in the pan. Wish I had one of those cutesy little paddle spreaders. Make sure it all flattens out, and they have in all the professional creperies. They also have those cool, like, look like a piece of stone mound, like, flat tops that are cool to work with, too. I mean, that's like half of the attraction for me, is looking at that cool little tool that they're using to make their crepes with. I don't think I've ever seen those used for anything else. Make sure we're not sticking here or anything. Okay. These are a bit smaller than I was hoping, but don't have good reason to really complain. I think they're still going to work fine for frying up. everyone's still doing well out there. We having a good evening? Relaxing after that hard day working at home? Yeah, getting a bit warm again. Cast iron's just so good at retaining heat. See if we can play this game at all with this at all, or yeah, it's sort of a waste of time. These things cook so quick. It's like cooking milk skins. Stew's looking nice still. That one got a little color on it. We're getting down to the last ones here though, so we're getting more of the butter solids. Try it this way. For anyone new in chat, sprinkles are our in-chat currency, rewarded for viewership, not for bits or subs or anything along that line. That way I can, here in the States, legally do subscription sweepstakes giveaways. And so those are used for any sweepstakes or giveaways I do on the stream. I did one at 500 followers. Plan to do another one at 1,000 followers. Can also, in the future, be able to redeem getting your name on the Hall of Fame cutting board in the back, which I'll be wood burning all the names of those who redeem that on stream. I already forgot about spreading it using the ladle. That worked pretty good last time. Did pull apart a bit easier. If you look at the crepe, it's not nearly as even of a crepe, though. Yeah, I think the key word for that wine is inoffensive. I sort of think the $4 Riesling that I had, what was that, a week ago Wednesday? That was essentially like alcoholic sugar water. This is right on par with that. I don't remember what I paid for this. But it's in cardboard. It can't be exactly primo. Pretty sure I got that from Whole Foods too, so you can probably find that online and find a price for that. Thank you for those bits, Bartonus. Welcome in. How you doing this evening? Been a minute since we've seen you. How's the Paladins games treating you these days? I think this is going to be our last one. Can maybe squeeze one. Yeah, let's make this our last one. I take that back. We're gonna try for one more after that. Yeah, it did seem to have a little bit of a drop off there. I've never played Paladins, but it did seem to have a little bit of a drop off there. I don't know, they change things and people don't like the changes. Ooh, that one's cooking a little quick. Well, hopefully life is treating you well otherwise then, since you're not still... moving, okay. A lot of people moving these days. Let's see if I can't squeeze one more out here. This one's going to be a little ugly. Well, hopefully everything else is going well with the move. Hopefully the move is going nice and smooth. Life is getting better with the new place. Get the adventure of trying all the new places in town. Unless you just moved across town or something. That's always fun. new adventures, finding your favorite places to eat and work, and have your car fixed. So now I'm going to layer these all on plate, just to get them off the cutting board for the most part. These have worked out pretty. I think these are going to be okay for our frying project. They seem to be pretty sturdy, stable product. I'm still amazed that I somehow ran out of butter, because I'm normally the type to have a couple of pounds in the freezer. There ain't nothing in the freezer. Move back to your home state. Okay. Turn the heat off on that. Put that on the back burner. Move our oil up front here. Oil is still cool, so I'm not worried about moving that. Okay. So I threw a little flour in the stew, but it ain't thick enough, so we're going to have to add a little cornstarch here too to bring this together a bit more. And as far as using it for crepes, it's rather moist. So thinking I'm going to have to thin it down a bit too for what I'm using as a filling. Oh, that doesn't show a very good overall look at the stove, does it? So we got our stewing away over here. I'm actually going to add a little onion and garlic powder in there, a little hint of cayenne. Little hint of cayenne first. Garlic here second. Gonna go light on garlic since we already got garlic in there, but as I often say, the powder is not going to give you the same flavor as the onion and garlic in there. Same thing with the onion powder. And since it's me we're talking about, we're definitely adding some MSG in here. And some pepper. My wife thinks me grinding pepper is a workout. Yep, we're going to thicken that up a little bit with a little cornstarch as well. Just good old regular cornstarch. little refrigerated water. And you're using a cornstarch slurry or a starch slurry. That was maybe too much water. You want it to be thick, sort of like cream, so it's still liquid, but it's got a little body to it. And you want it to be very cold, like ice cold, as far as temp. So my finger in here is probably not a great thing, but you want this next to ice cold, and you want this over here absolutely boiling when we pour it in, because that temperature difference is going to maximize your thickening ability of the liquid. And it doesn't finish its thickening until it's back to a boil. You already see those bubbles have a little bit more body to them. It's still not thick enough for what I want for our stuffing. So I am going to sift some of it. I don't want to go much thicker when it comes to doing it with rice and stuff later on. But as far as the filling in with our crepes, we don't want all of that liquid. So we'll try it like that. I'm going to turn the heat on our fryer, or on our fry oil. This is oil that I've used previously and strained. If you follow along the stream, I did fish and chips here on Friday. Same oil. We'll see how we do. Thank you, Lexi. Yeah, I'm greatly enjoying the new music service too. Although, at the same time, having to pick out and creating playlists still irks me a little bit. I still wish I had a like Pandora-like service here for in the background as far as just play and go. But now that I've got a greater than 12-hour playlist, so we're waiting on this to come up on temp, because I don't want to make the... Oh, that's what I can do. We can mix together a little bit of a savory yogurt sauce for over the top of our savory Crepe-chungas. A little Greek yogurt. Not worried about a little flour in my yogurt. It's basically done for anyways. So this would be our savory yogurt topping. A little more garlic and onion powder. Note to basil, a little cayenne, give us that heat punch, sort of like an acid in there almost. A little white pepper, since I don't feel like grinding black pepper in there. And a little bit of dried mustard, or mustard powder. Give that a little bit of a beginning stir up. That needs salt and MSG. For having been bought this week, these chives are looking pretty sad pretty quick. Not happy with that. I don't normally buy my chives out of these packs too, it's just probably part of the issue. I'm vaccinated now. I can go back to the farmers markets. Woohoo! No longer have to worry about limiting my exposure to the world. Still gonna wear a mask, but don't have to worry about it anymore. We'll use up the last of the dill in this too. Because it's not getting any fresher. Love that smell of dill. Every single time. Pull it out. Flavor's much less, but the smell of dill is just amazing to me. What did I do with my bench scraper? So we got our dollop of yogurt for on top of our Crepe-chungas. Let's see if that avocado is still looking usable. I got half an avocado that's been chilling out near the fridge a minute. There we go. Move, seed, get out of the way. Oh, am I forgetting Stream Raiders? I apologize. Let's do a pre-roll ad, and then we'll do Stream Raiders. Move the oxidation from the top of the avocado here. Thank you for the reminder, Red Nut. Appreciate that. That little audio indicator sometimes gets lost in what else I'm doing right now. So awesome, we got some avocado for with our Crepe-chungas too. So I'll do a quick in the skin dice here. What's our oil temp getting to here? About 200-ish. A little over, a little under. Give this a little of a stir up. Make sure we're not sticking it all. Just trying to. That's going to be delicious with our rice. Maybe throw a little fresh parsley in with that. Well, they're light pancakes. There's not a lot to them. So, whatever you're doing as far as your flavoring is pretty much it that there is there. So, it seems like there's a lot more mobs here than when I started. I don't know. Let's see what we do. Battle. Quiet J trying to take on half of the field, and I'm trying to take on the other half. That poor archer. That was weird how the Berserker was just standing there letting the mob beat on it. Victory. 39 kills. Wow. Quiet J. Red Nut and Quiet J getting the rewards there. Congrats. We go top route or bottom route here? I think we're going to go bottom route. So we'll build our army over here, fight everything from this one central point. And we'll do that battle in 30 minutes. Okay, so we got our avocado. We got our yogurt for with our chicken crepes. Need another yogurt here too still. Need a yogurt for our sweet crepes. Healers are key. They aren't great for getting points for yourself, but they are great for getting wins as a team. Probably could have just mixed this in the bottom of this. It's gonna be a bit. Probably could just mix it in the bottom of this, but yeah, let's just use this. Dessert, gonna add cayenne. Where is it? Where are they? They're hiding all the way in the back. Do a little nutmeg along with that. And honey. Just nutmeg, honey, and a little bit of cayenne for a little bit of a heat punch that you probably wouldn't even notice unless I told you about it. And again, I'm using Greek yogurt for all this. Partially because it's what I got around the house. Partially because it's what I prefer as far as yogurt. Sort of falls under that same thing with the meat. Why am I paying for a whole bunch of water in my product? Much rather have it strained and be a nice solid thick yogurt. And if I want to thin it out with some dairy or something, I can do that. That's tasty. I'm gonna add a little sugar to that on top of the honey. Sort of like salt, sugar helps bring out a couple of flavors. That was maybe more than I wanted. I just wanted a light little touch. Teaspoon of sugar, maybe less. got a kick to it. I like that. Okay, so there's our sweet topping. There's our savory topping. That sauce looked amazing. I should have shown that to you. Okay, for sealing these, do I use water? Do I use egg? Need a clean surface here for rolling our burritos, though. I want to keep them relatively small, too. I'm actually almost okay with a couple rolls of the... Because, again, I'm a little worried about the crepes drying out during the folding session. Sort of thinking egg right now. I think we're going to do egg for sealing these. Not getting too warm with our oil over here, are we? 276, 300 almost. Let's give this high-rimmed pan a bit of a shake and turn that oil temp down a little bit. I'm going to turn this chicken stew temp down a little bit here too. Guess we're using you. Messy kitchen, messy mind. We got these all ready for later, but we can turn those, move those away a little bit. Okay. Let's try this once more. Gonna be sort of like crepe egg rolls here. Maybe I should have made a play on egg rolls from the name instead of chimichangas. Lexi. Yeah, I haven't gotten much into TikTok. If I did, I would want to make sure and start whatever account I did right, because it seems like the algorithms with it are... You got to hit it big to begin with, or you just don't got a chance to even do it at all. Do one more savory here, and then we'll switch over to the sweet. That oil is smelling like it's getting warm, so it's worrying me. Okay, we're still 300, 325-ish, depending on where we are in the pot. So we're okay with that. Do I want to keep these? Yeah, let's keep these separate. So we know which ones are savory and which ones are sweet. They're all mostly keeping their shape pretty well. That one needs a little bit more coercing. There's our savory Crepe-chungas. Let's roll our sweet ones next. We have... Where'd it go? The disappearing can. I had to have moved it somewhere or something. Where the heck did it go? I am completely at a loss at where this can has gone. It's probably staring me right in the face. Well, it wasn't staring me right in the face, I moved it, but still was too hard to find. This is a can of condensed milk that I boiled underwater, under several inches of water. Gotta be careful when you're doing something like this. For close to 3 hours, although it's still, the other can that I did of this seemed sort of light. So we'll see how this turned out. But we have the easy made-at-home version of dulce de leche here. So, just essentially condensed milk boiled in the can. You result in this lovely caramel mess. It does sort of get a little more solid around the outer sides of the can. But talk about an easy hack to make some great caramel. Chipotle chicken. Gotta have those smoked jalapenos. Which are chipotles, if anyone's not familiar. So yeah, a bit light, but definitely caramelized. Wish I had gone a little bit longer with those, but I mean, like I said, I did 3 hours of this, and they typically recommend 2 to 3 hours, so get rid of a little of this egg. Start with a fresh, clean board here for our dessert. True test of rolling ability here. Rolling a liquid. Or stuffing a liquid. Definitely want to make sure we got these sealed when it comes to frying. Well, we have semi-sweet guittard chocolate and condensed milk or dulce de leche caramel. So caramel and chocolate. Then we're going to top them with the honey yogurt. Egg around the side to seal it nice and tight. Make sure we get these corners nice and sealed out there like that. Then the whole thing gets sealed at the end. My biggest worry about tonight's dinner is how pretty it looks at the end. I'm a little worried we're going to have these golden brown beautiful looking crepes, but it's going to be a plate of brown. So, trying to help that a little bit with the sauces and the avocado and all that, but it's still going to be a plate of brown tonight. You also don't want a ton of air in these because air bubbles in anything you're frying like this, whether it's egg rolls or burritos. Ooh, this one might not work. We'll try it this way. Worried about the holes and gaps here. We definitely want to get some egg around those and make sure that we're actually rolling about halfway through on this one. Make sure that we're sealed well ahead of that hole. I think we're going to call it here with the sweet ones, too. Don't want a gazillion. I don't want to eat that whole can of condensed milk tonight. Don't even want to be tempted to do that. Okay, so we'll have 3 extra crepes left over. No, it wouldn't help me feeling like an absolute sloth, yeah. I am grateful that, I mean, as far as side effects go, being tired and sort of cranky for a couple of days is a heck of a lot better than alternative. So I'm not too concerned about it, but who's got the sloth emote? Monday-itis. Where are you that it's Monday already? You out New Zealand, Australia? It's a still Sunday here. Nice. Welcome in. From... Oh, we're plenty warm there. I think we're just going to go ahead and get started with our savory crepes. Where are we putting our crepes after we're done with them, though? Actually, let's just take this off the stove. I didn't end up using this tonight. We are taking our crepes once they're done here and putting them... Let's do plate with paper towel. I was going to pull out the wire rack. I think these will be better on paper towel. Not the most eco-friendly solution, but... Alright, first of our savory chicken crepes going in. Do 2 batches of 3 here. Mostly going for color here. I mean, I'm pretty sure that egg that we brushed on the edge there is pretty much cooked already. So the question is, how much color do we want to get on our crepes? That's looking sort of nice there, sort of nice light pale golden. I think I'll go with that. See how much that killed our temp. We're probably still well above what I need to be. Yeah, that lost us maybe 10 degrees. We're 375-ish. I was really sort of expecting like 350, but I wasn't going to wait here for the pan to cool down. Two hours north of Sydney. Well, I certainly know of Newcastle and I know of Sydney, but when it comes to geography of Australia, I have no clue which cities are on the west and which sides are on the east. Hey, Miss Lisa Face, how you doing tonight? Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a Hank's night. These bubbled up a little bit more than the first ones. That's sort of interesting.
light side's at top there because that's what's floating. When I flip these over, they're all nice and beautifully golden brown here. They're looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with those. Happy with the crepes altogether. I mean, I haven't done crepes before here at home, so that all by itself is looking nice. I'm going to risk it. I'm just going to throw that in. Wait on these last two. Thank you for that follow. Welcome in, that Disney man. Glad to have you. Having anything interesting for dinner yourself? We're trying to turn crepes into chimichangas tonight. We've got these that are filled with a chicken stew that we got on the stove over here. And I'm just trying the first ones here that are filled with dulce de leche and semi-sweet chocolate. That's turning all right. It's almost like an egg roll. Caramel and chocolate egg roll, but an egg roll. And we'll throw the last two in there. Fruit salad with French toast. Nice! It's been a while since I've done French toast. I always seem to end up doing pancakes or the waffle maker instead. I'm going to turn the oil off now since that'll retain the heat enough to finish off those last two. We do have one of these that busted open, so we do have a messy dessert. The other two seem to be holding their integrity. I know I'm using that word completely improperly. Nice and golden brown. Okay. And I'm going to move the oil to the back of the stove so I don't have to worry about that too much. We got the heat off already, obviously. But I'll go ahead and strain that, see how that looks tomorrow morning, see if the caramel didn't completely destroy things. But let's wipe off the board, wipe off. actual soap on the board here, not just dirty water. And played our savory Crepe-chungas first here. Still nice and soft like a pancake. So they got that going for them. Even though they got that crispy egg roll look to them, they are softer than an egg roll. Yep, crepe chimichangas just with crepes instead of tortillas. Come on, don't all fall on me. Shimmy crepes. And then we have our herb and seasoned yogurt. Wishing I had some plushes of parsley to throw over the top of that. Actually, I might. I do. There we go, there's our first plate of the evening. Oops, got this on a view that you can't really see what gorgeousness we got going on here. Grab a photo of this and then I'll show you on the main screen what we got. So here is our savory Crepe-chungas. And again,
They're like pancakes. Focus. That's damn good. Wow. I wasn't expecting the flavors that I got out of that chicken. Wow. Gonna enjoy those. But let's go ahead and make our dessert plate now. Oh, we got a couple that are losing integrity on the dessert plate. Uh-oh. So we got our dessert Crepe-chungas, and we have our sweetened yogurt for over these. Why are you on that? No, no. We don't want that. Alright, so these are our... You can see a couple... I put the ones that are leaking down on the bottom. We got a little leakage going down there. Main screen view, that deliciousness. Little mint would be awesome, yeah. Little fresh berries, yeah. Little chantilly cream, yeah. I like the yogurt though. I'm not a huge mint fan either though. I don't do a ton of mint. I'm typically, like, when it comes to mouthwash and all the stuff that they typically flavor with mint, I typically go for the citrus or some other flavor than that, not just sticking with the traditional mint. I've always preferred spearmint over mint, and I've always certainly preferred citrus over that. But let's see who we can give a raid to tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening. I think this turned out amazing. I was so worried this was going to be a disaster because it was entirely just a idea I came up with off the cuff. So I'm very happy that this turned out well. Thank you, Miss Lisa Face. I think we're gonna pass the raid off to another food and drink streamer. We have Food Trucking doing some cooking tonight. I have raided him once before, I believe, but another member, I believe, of Team Bone-In. So hopefully you're enjoying what he's cooking up. I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of this. As I mentioned earlier, plugged earlier, we have the vote going on in Discord for one more night. I'll shut that off sometime tomorrow. Looking right now like it's gonna be kosher pickles, but it could be Vegemite for Wednesday's ingredient challenge. So either Vegemite or kosher pickles. And then, as always, we're going to have fun stuff for Friday and Sunday next week. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a great evening, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.